Hi everyone, Pastor Scott here. It is time for our Tuesday devotion for July 11th already. Wow, everything is just screaming by this year, and we've been marching through the books of the Bible and reading this together and looking at the summaries of that together every week in our devotion time. This week is the book of Daniel, and the Babylonians exiled the group containing Daniel and his three friends, best known by their Babylonian names, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, to the center of their empire, the city of Babylon, around 605 BC. And the teenaged Daniel found himself in the midst of a strongly polytheistic, multiple god type of background, religious culture, meaning he had tons of opportunities to fall into error and start worshiping false gods. And Daniel is one of the few books of the Bible that takes place during the period of judgment that many books told the Jewish people was going to happen, and some look back to, but Daniel is right in the middle of it and talks about what was going on while they were in a foreign nation. And it talks about Daniel's purity during the time of Nebuchadnezzar and his encounter and Nebuchadnezzar with his encounter with God, the pagan backdrop that Daniel makes it clear that the true God is the supreme ruler over heaven and earth. You can see that in Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. Even when it all seems lost and the consequences of sin seem overwhelming, it's an amazing thing to see how God works. And the book of Daniel stands really in a unique mix of the Old Testament because it begins with history, and then in chapter 7 it moves to future events. In Daniel chapter 9, verses 24 through 27 specifically, gives a really neat timeline of when the Messiah would appear and the events that would follow. So it has a historic section and a prophetic section, and it's really neat to read and to see how everything goes. And Daniel presents a strong case in this book for the absolute sovereignty of God, even over a bunch of self-absorbed foreign powers. God is sovereign, and that's important to remember. Includes Daniel's deliverance from the lion's den, his friend's rescue from the fiery furnace, the future arrival of the Ancient of Days to save his people. And really, the application point of this book is it paints a portrait really clearly how to serve God faithfully in the middle of a corrupt world and how to persevere in hope when really there doesn't look like there's any solutions to the problems in the immediate future. So it's a really, really applicable book to read during the age that we live in here right now. So I think you'll enjoy reading it this week. I know I will as I go over it as well. Hey, we've got our Thursday night Bible study happening this week, every week of the summer. So 7 o'clock on Thursday nights. Would love to have everyone there. And then our teens, our children, all meeting at 7 as well. And then 6 o'clock is the all church prayer time. Love for you to come in anytime during 6 and 7 and just join us in prayer for people and our church and nation, leaders, all of that. We do that every week at 6 o'clock on Thursday, 7 o'clock Bible study. And then we dive in the very first part of chapter 1 of 1 Corinthians this week. So I'd love for you to be here for service as well. And of course, our equipping hour at 9 a.m., service at 10:30. And we have a patio fellowship afterwards, after the church service, with a ton of pizza and soda and salads and just a great time getting to know each other better. Okay? A lot going on this week. Love for you to be here with us. Okay? God bless.